We measure two types of problems in the study: design problems, which is where the vehicle has not been designed properly in the first place, and then defects, where the vehicle was designed properly but it's ceased to function. Now we have a split of about 50-50 between the two types of problems. The proportion of problems which are design problems has actually grown a little bit over the last few years, up from about 45% about 5 years ago up to almost 50% today. So it is growing, but defects and malfunctions are still a very important part of the mix. The overall industry as a whole improved by 5 problems per 100 this year. It doesn't sound a lot, but it's actually 5% reduction in initial quality problems. This is faster than we've seen for the past few years. The average over the last few years has been around 3%. This year we see 5%, which is really a return to a historical trend. Many years ago we saw quality improve by about 5 to 6% a year. That kind of slowed down over the last few years as a lot of these relatively easy to solve problems were fixed. It became harder and harder to see improvement. This year we've seen 5% by the industry as a whole, which is really impressive. Historically, vehicles which are new to the market, so newly launched vehicles, have had significantly more problems than carryover vehicles. So the perception that you shouldn't buy a vehicle the first year it's on the market historically was true. This year we see that gap narrowing, and a lot of manufacturers are coming to market with brand new vehicles or heavily redesigned vehicles which are every bit as good as the vehicle that they replace. And so the gap between the all-new vehicles and the carryover vehicles has actually narrowed again this year. And that's part of what's driven the overall quality forward, is that we didn't see this drag on quality from poor launches, because most of the launches this year were actually very good. We're updating the content to better reflect the types of vehicles that are being sold today, a lot of the new technology that's coming to market, and we need to ask consumers specifically about that technology. Secondly, we're taking the survey online. Currently we send out a paper questionnaire to customers. By taking the survey online, when somebody reports that they have a problem, we can immediately ask them a lot of follow-up questions about that problem, and therefore give the auto manufacturers much more detailed and much more specific information to help them solve these problems.